All right, peace, everybody. What's going on? I know I didn't do a show Tuesday, and I'm sorry. I was busy, and so I took the day off. But I wanted to show y'all the April 23rd, Saturday, April 23rd. I'm gonna be in New Orleans. We're gonna be talking about religious passport, religious trust, religious exemptions, religious unincorporated associations, connecting your commerce to your spirituality. Donation $250 online or at the door. So hope to see you guys there. It's going to be at the Hilton New Orleans Riverside, 2 Poydras Street, New Orleans. Go to akiemel.com and click the webinars and seminars. I know it said akiemel events, but click the webinars and seminars. All of my premium members, as a thanks for your support, you get 30% off. I gave you guys the code in our last meeting. I also left it in the portal. So if you are a premium member, you will get 30% off. So if you're not a premium member, become one. What are the benefits of it? You will learn how to correctly set your status. You will learn how to correctly do your trust and do your trust tax returns properly so that you can recoup your money, your deposits, all that. So am I talking about OIDs? Yes, I'm talking about all that stuff that they got y'all afraid of, or all that stuff that people have been teaching and getting people in trouble to date. We've been doing the classes for 2 years and no problems at all. So go get the premium membership. Turn my camera on here. All right, I'm here. As you can see, the title of the show or this broadcast is "Can a UCC one save your house?" Can it? Well, I'll just put it to you guys like this: has a UCC saved you from anything? Has it done anything for you? By doing a UCC, has it fixed any of your problems? Has it discharged any of your debt? Help me understand. Has it done that? You got. Let me just check some things here. Make sure my audio is good here. Can everybody hear me clearly in the chat? T King Bay, what's up? Karini, peace. Happy Saturday. If you guys can hear me, just type it in the chat. Let me know. I'll wait for somebody. Yeah, they can hear me. Good. Thank you. You know, y'all can see I'm not at my usual setup. I'm out here in Chapel Hill right now. Oh, thank you, Karini. Thank you. She actually corrected me that I was saying her name wrong. She actually spelled it the way it sounds. So now I can say it right. Thank you for the correction. Um, and thank you for tuning in. So UCC ones are pointless, useless. They do not fix anything. They never have, never will. People are losing their house because people are teaching them go follow UCC one, put a lien, and it's gonna fix all your problems. And they do that, and they still get losing their house. And just to add on, oh, go do your house, put it in this, and it'll go put it in the trust. It'll keep you from being foreclosed on. Now, there's two answers to that whole trust thing. If you put your house in the trust before you have problems, yes, it can help you save your house. But if you put it in the trust after you have problems, it only just slows the process down. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be proactive when it comes to putting property in trust. You can't wait till you're in default or they don't foreclosed on you and they just waiting for a sale date. You can do that and it does slow the process, but eventually they can get around that. But I tell people, yeah, do it, but you're only slowing things down. And if you're one of those people listening and you're facing foreclosure, right now, sale date is coming up. Y'all need to, do something now. One of the things you can do is contact my guy, Gilbert. I used to give his number out to people. He'll help you um, get out of these bad situations you created for yourself. So let me give you his contact information now. When it comes to foreclosure, he's the best guy I know that can turn things around for you. His name is Gilbert Rivera. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'll put his number there. He's not into all of that he discharged stuff, so he don't even want to hear it. So if you bring that to him, he's gonna shut it down. He may even get rude. There's his information. Contact you. He will help you. All right. Hold on a second. All right. I'm Trying to get my chatters. I could got these little pop-ups here that's in my way. All right. Gilbert's information is in there. Go there and call them. So no, UCC ones can't help you. They're worthless. All UCC ones is a financing statement. That's all it is. It's just describing who's got a lien on what. It is not the actual lien. A non-UCC is the lien, but even if you did that, you're still not going to save your house with a UCC one or UCC or non-UCC. Now, if you really want to save your house, call that guy. If you're in trouble, call him. Gilbert Rivera. He can help you. Get back and come to an agreement with the mortgage company or the bank. Or you can file bankruptcy, but even if you file bankruptcy, you still got to pay for the house. It's just not going to give you the house. Now, if you're in a situation where you're just starting to foreclose, they're just sending the notices threatening to foreclose, contact me and get a consultation at akiemel.com and we could discuss some options there. See, I hate getting these foreclosure cases after you guys have screwed it up and it's late. It's really not much I can do at that point. But one of the things I understand is what evidence is. And I know a lot of the stuff they're winning on is not evidence. So I exploit that hole and get you. Yeah, I put my information in the chat there. All right. Akiemel.com, get a consultation. Now, if you send me an email asking questions, I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to tell you to get a consultation and we could talk in depth, about your personal situation. Now, one of the things I'm seeing, a lot of things I'm seeing a lot of lately is people going into court with processes or think they're making a legal argument and it's nothing but mumbo jumbo. It doesn't make sense. They're making up their own rules. When it comes to filing their paper, doing the service, they're making up their own rules. They're going off of some teaching that said do this. How do you win any case? You have to understand the rules of the case, the court. You have to understand the rules. This is why UCCs and all of that stuff don't work. Something you make up as evidence and only you can certify as evidence. They're not accepting that as evidence of anything. They're telling you put liens on judges, all that kind of stupid stuff. All that's going to do is get you in trouble and get you viewed as a sovereign citizen. The last thing you want to do is be viewed as a sovereign citizen in a courtroom or in any situation. Using sovereign citizen verbiage in your paperwork. Now, I read people's stuff and they're putting, I'm such and such and such on the land of this. I'm the land on the woman on the land, and I'm sovereignness and all these extra statements. And I'm like, right there, they're gonna look at you as a sovereign citizen. And I can see now when they get treated a certain way, they don't understand why they're being treated a certain way. They don't understand the treatment. But then when I read the paperwork, I understand why they're being treated that way. The court perceives them as sovereign citizens. Let's see. There's actually information on the FBI's website. Hang on, let me get my mic corrected here. That talks about how they treat how the law enforcement are supposed to view sovereign citizens. Let's see. If I can get something off the FBI's. Uh, Here it is. Da-da-da-da. This is, let me share this to y'all. Share this screen. This is straight from the FBI's website. Hang on. My computer, I spilled some water on my computer, so I gotta reauthorize all this stuff. All right. All right, let's see. Window, Chrome tab. There it is. Share. All right, there it is. There it is. All I do is a Google search to read it. It says here, domestic terrorism, the sovereign citizen movement. And this is way back. This is from April 13th, 2010. So they still got it up there. Domestic terrorism, Americans attacking Americans because of US based extremist ideologies, comes in many forms in our post 9/11 world. Now, this is Federal Bureau of Investigation's website. And you can see all of the faked they got a picture of the fake license plates that people continue to try to use. To help educate the public, we previously outlined two separate domestic terror threats: eco terrorists, animal rights extremists, and lone offenders. Today, we look at a third threat: the sovereign citizen extremist movement. So they're saying that sovereign citizens are a threat. So if you're viewed as that, they're going to treat you like a threat. They're gonna lock you up for indefinite amount of time, then let you out without real good cause. Sovereign citizens are anti-government extremists who believe that even though they physically reside in this country, they are separate or sovereign from the United States. As a result, they believe they don't have to answer any government authority, including court, taxing entities, motor vehicle departments, or law enforcement. Now, I can tell you right now, you get some type of traffic ticket or court summons, you do need to respond to that. You don't ignore that. You know how many people I know right now that are lost their custody of their own children because they decided to listen to someone who said don't show up in court? And I don't understand that line of reasoning, because it tells you if you don't respond, we're going to default and find in favor of the opposing party, the plaintiff. It tells you that in clear. And then when they lose, now they got to work and undo all of that. Yes. So many people do that. Oh, they said not to show up. Don't argue because that's giving them jurisdiction. Let me put myself on the screen. Y'all need to see my face when I'm talking for real. Listen, the only way you can challenge jurisdiction is by showing up and saying that they don't have jurisdiction. Not just showing up, putting it in their paperwork. You have to say that. You have to put that out there. You can't just not show. You get on, don't this and that. All these, you got to go in there and get equity. People are in jail right now trying to get out of jail, trying to use equity tactics. And I told, and a person actually told me, I think you're wrong on this one. That this time I think you're wrong. This was 2 months ago. They still in jail. No, I'm not wrong. You're not getting on out of jail using some equity tactic. The only way you're getting out of jail is raising the right claims that they don't have jurisdiction and the reasons why through the Constitution. That's where you're getting out by raising proper arguments, not legal theory arguments. And I'm talking about people that have been sentenced and they're in jail. We're going to get equity. They got to do this. The courts got to do this. If I put this in, man, they don't have to do none of that stuff that y'all putting in. What they consider paper terrorism. This causes all kinds of problems and crimes. For example, let me enlarge my screen again. For example, many sovereign citizens don't pay their taxes. They hold illegal courts that issue warrants for judges and police officers. They clog up the court system with frivolous lawsuits and liens against public officials to harass them. And they use fake money orders, aka discharge, personal checks, and the like at government agency, banks, and businesses. So if you bought a discharge video that's telling you to make a money order and give that to the people, this is 2010. We are in 2022. So that's 12 years. They've been telling y'all that it's wrong. That's just the beginning. Not every action taken in the name of sovereign citizenology is a crime. But the list of illegal actions committed by these groups, cells, and individuals is extensive and puts them squarely on our radar. In addition to the above, sovereign citizens commit murder and physical assault, threaten judges, law enforcement professionals, and government personnel, impersonate police officers and diplomats. Yeah, isn't that some of y'all? Some of these people telling you if you got 5 stars, you're a diplomat. That's the crap they teaching y'all. Okay. Use fake currency, passports, license plates, driver's licenses, and engineer various white-collar scams, including mortgage fraud and so-called redemption schemes. Excuse me. Sovereign citizens are often confused with extremists from the militia movement. But while sovereign citizens sometimes use or buy illegal weapons, guns are secondary to their anti-government, anti-tax beliefs. On the other hand, guns and paramilitary training are paramount to militia groups. During the past year, we had a number of investigative successes involving sovereign citizens. A few recent cases, and they're going to name some. In Sacramento, 2 sovereign citizens were convicted of running a fraudulent insurance scheme. Operating outside of state insurance regulatory guidelines, the men set up their own company and sold lifetime memberships to customers, promised to pay any accident claims against their members. The company collected millions of dollars but paid out very few claims. Now, someone who was in my premium group just got themselves involved in this old scheme. This is 2010. Yeah, you buy this and you don't need insurance. And I was like, okay. I ain't say nothing. Because when that comes and bite him in the ass, then he's going to be talking about it. See, I've gotten to the point where I let people screw themselves now with these stupid schemes. How are you going to get involved with a group and they're going to tell you you don't need insurance and they're going to back you if you get into a accident, and the money that you're getting, this is the logic now. The money that you get, it comes from the members. So if the members don't have enough money to pay thousands of dollars in claims, so what if it's a serious accident? Thousands of dollars, and then you hurt someone. That's more money. Come on. Stop with the BS. Go get some regular insurance where you have a company that is bonded that's backing that claim. Not these little makeshift groups that's talking about you could do this and do that. And people just fall for this stupidity all the time. Paying groups, yeah, you don't need this, that. Now this is 2010, and I just heard about this insurance thing. You do this, and it's been working, and this and that. Man, please. Watch. You'll see. Yeah, and a lot of times when they get themselves in trouble, they don't say nothing, but they'll promote it like it's legit. Like some years ago, people were promoting doing a whole social security number, putting it in and making a check out of it and paying off your loans, your student loans. They promoted that, but when it failed, they never came back and did a video and said, hey, it didn't work. Now, when I put in my little 2 cents and said, hey, that's not going to work, everybody, oh, he's just saying this because of that. He's this, he's that. But none of them people came back and said, you know what, you was right. And that's why this community is always losing, because you got people promoting bad stuff, but when it fails, they don't talk about the failures. In Kansas City, 3 sovereign citizens were convicted of taking part in a conspiracy using phony diplomatic credentials. They charged customers between $450 and $2,000 for a diplomatic identification card, which would bestow upon the holder sovereign status, meaning they would enjoy diplomatic immunity from paying taxes for being stopped or arrested by law enforcement. Eh, In Las Vegas, 4 men affiliated with the sovereign citizen movement were arrested by the Nevada Joint Terrorism Task Force on federal money laundering, tax evasion, and weapons charges. The investigation involved an undercover operation, and 2 of the suspects allegedly laundering more than $1 million from what they believe was a bank fraud scheme. Then they, click more. It probably this is the whole article. They take you to the article. You see. Let's see. And that's just the this is the archive. So if you want to read, I'll put the link in the chat for you guys. Chat. There you go. All right. Man, what about public services of trust? Yeah, they are trusty in service of the people. But you got to know how to invoke that. You're not going to invoke it making up your own rules. You got to go read the rules on how to make them your trustees. I show y'all how to make the Secretary of State the trustee just by simply doing your passport correctly. And you submit the paperwork as his trustee. He facilitates giving you your passport. There you go. Oh, I'm just reading some comments. You see? What is Moore saying? Get the lenders to give you the IRS and mortgage interest statement under the Freedom of Act. It should solve this problem. Who the real lender? Yeah, we already know who the lender. See, it is no secret who the lender and who the borrower is. They even tell you who the lender is. When you throw money in the bank, they tell you that they take the money, invest it. They tell you you're lending them money to invest. They tell you that. Go read the disclosure statements of your bank account. One day I'm gonna pull out the disclosure statements, and it actually tells you that they are aware of it, that that's their role and your role. The issue is the taxes that's being imposed or tried to capitalize on it doesn't follow any rules. For instance, when people are doing their 1099s, they're sending those anytime during the year, whenever they want to. And there's rules that say you can't do that. You have to send them at certain times of the year and send them under certain circumstances with proper documentation. You can't go watch somebody's website, just do a 1099 and send it off. You're going to be looked at as a sovereign citizen. You see? Somebody said 1098 automatically write the interest off. No, that's not what a Mexican Moore is telling you to do. That's not what he said. Yeah, 1098 tells you what the interest and you write it off on your normal tax returns as an individual. But when you're talking about trust tax returns, this is a whole different deal there when it comes to those types of transactions. It's a whole different process there. See, U.S. citizens can never question the debt. Why? Because they are debtors by definition. They are debtors. They are slaves. I was telling somebody today, listen, the Industrial Revolution, the Factory Revolution, slavery, all of that is still in full effect. The biggest industrialization, the biggest product that the United States makes, the biggest product that they make is U.S. citizen. That's their biggest production product. That's their biggest money maker. That's who they manufacture. How do they manufacture that? They start you off grades 0 through 12, teaching you how to go to school and get a good job. So you go to school and get a good job, and when you start filling out W-9s, and with W-9s where you certify that I am a U.S. citizen, you just manufactured yourself right into that category. Slavery is still real. It's just people just don't realize that they're a slave. They're being manufactured to be a slave, to be a dependent that can only receive benefits by privileges. Receive a privilege is not right. You see? That's it. That's what they're manufacturing right now. They don't make anything else but that. And then once they make that, that product, the US citizen generates all the money for them by their actions and the things that they do. The biggest bull that's being pulled over everyone's eyes is that they really believe that they are free when they're not. You're not free. How are you free? You buy a home. Let's just say you buy a home, the American dream. You get a home. But what do you have to do? If you don't have the money to pay for it, you got to pay a mortgage every day. So you slave to that. You need lights, so you got to pay the electricity company for the lights. You need internet, you got to pay them for that. You need water, you got to pay for that. So how are you free? You're not free because you have to work and earn money to even pay for those things. They got you believing or thinking you're required to do that in order to get their services. So what they do, they manufactured your mindset into a system of dependency. So they're making those every day. Every time you send your child to the schools and all of that, you are just voluntarily surrendering them up so they can be manufactured to do the same thing that you're doing. Yes, schools and prisons are the same. Same thing. Difference between the schools and prisons, the children are on work release, meaning they go to schools and they get homework. They get released to go work at home. They're on work release. Yes. And they got to come there because if they don't come there and they find too many absences and that's why they keep track of it. You get warnings and then you get turned into social services for not having your child to be a truant. They are on work release. They are on probation. They have to turn into their parole officers every day. Yeah. It's backwards engineering. They start you off as you got to see your parole officers, who basically your teacher. And you got to do what they say or you fail or you won't pass. You won't get their diploma to be graduated on. Same with jail. You got to stay good in jail to get out, right? Because if you don't, they tack on more time to you. Children are sentenced to grades 0 through 12. That's their 12-year sentence. It's a sentence. The problem is we don't see it as that. We see it as a privilege to get educated by a bunch of people that haven't accomplished anything more than becoming a teacher. This is not a knock on teachers. I think they really, want to do the right thing, but they're working in a system that is designed just to create slaves. They don't realize that. They don't know they're in that system. They're under this illusion of freedom. And even years after the fact, they don't realize that they have been training children to be slaves. Because the biggest teaching they're doing is, oh, walk down the hallways the same way. Do as I say, even if I'm wrong. Don't question me. Don't talk out of turn. No free thinking here. You see? No free thinkers. And the problem in this community right now, y'all not free thinking now. Because some of y'all are imprisoned by bad teachings that told y'all to do all this crazy stuff that hasn't shown proof or results since they tried it. UCC ones have never worked, will not ever work. Discharge has never worked, will not work. All you hear is, yeah, it used to work. It worked for me. But no one ever shows you the evidence that it did work. No UCC. Now, I have UCCs filed in DC for specific reasons, but I don't use it to go to court or try to discharge any debt. Although people say, yeah, you can do it. But when I asked the brother, okay, show me how you did it, he got up. So why are you telling me something that can be done and you haven't proven it that it can be done? And this is what I would say 85 to 95% of the information that is out there is 100% false information. And let me prove my point. You will run into more people in this movement that has failed and tried something and didn't work and they're still trying to get it to work than you will find anybody that has any success in these things. Look around you. Stop. Look around you. In the circles you're running in, the people you're hanging out with that's talking about this. Is any one of them successful with any of those processes they're talking about? That's right. Get the likes up. Likes. Help me get some. They're definitely throttling down my station. They are. Why? Because it's probably one of the few places that's going to tell y'all that something that really can help you. Because the stuff I talk about is from application and me doing it myself, not trying to front like some theorizing on some stuff. And I tell you straight up, it's garbage. And another thing that I keep running into, people, oh, I did what you said. I did this. And I go look at their paperwork. They got the stuff I say, and then they got all the sovereign citizen verbiage in there. When I put stuff into the courtroom, it looks just like what their stuff look like. It don't have that sovereign citizen verbiage in there. I look like a normal someone with some sense who's putting it in, and they get my meaning clearly. Yes, I got videos on correcting nationality. That's my passport webinar. It is the passport webinar. akiemel.com shows you how to do it correctly. Do it through the passport. Then, if you're in my premium membership, I take it a step further. How to correct the nationality through driver's license, through your social security card, all these things. Filing your power of attorneys down at the county. And then using those things to make other things happen. Most of those things that I teach people to do is really for protection when they try to say that you're a U.S. citizen. No, I'm an American. Here's the proof. I filed this. I put this in. Filed this to get my passport. They accepted it. They gave me my passport. I have a certified copy of my passport application showing that my mother and father are not U.S. citizens, and I am thus not that as well. And I have a a a, a document that they can read and make sense of without all the BS in it, showing that. My technique is so good that they had to change the application. And they didn't even know they changed the application and made it even easier. They made it even easier. For me, it was. And I broke it down in my premium membership the other night. We had a class showing you how easy it was. I said, oh, they thought they was making this hard. So, well, no, not really. Now I ain't got to jump through these extra hoops. All I got to do is this. akiemel.com, or just watch all my videos because I talk about nationality oh consistently. I'm talking to a person who is saying this right here. Do you have videos speaking on what correcting your nationality is, like what changes when you do that or benefits of it? I guess for someone interested in learning but new to this, yes, they're there. Uh, most of my because I know about evidence and how powerful it is in a courtroom. When you're doing my stuff, it's mostly for evidence purposes. Say, well, listen, you trying to say this, and here's the thing: if you ever been confronted by a judge or anybody in type of governmental, they never try to say you are a U.S. citizen. They get you to trap yourself into saying it. They don't even question you when you say that. They don't say, "Oh, yes, you are. You're this." They don't do that. They just start asking you a series of questions to trap you. Oh, where were you born? To see how if you know how to answer that. Oh, where's your birth certificate from? See how you know you answer that. That's a simple answer. Oh yeah, my birth certificate is from New York. Well, that indicates, well, then I just simply say I asked them a question. Here's my birth certificate. Show me on there that it says I'm a US citizen. Because that says the state of New York on there. It doesn't say US. Oh, but New York is part of the United States. No, New York is not a part of the United States. New York, United States is a contractor for the state of New York under the authority of the United States of America. Yes. United States of America and United States are two different things. New York is part of one of the 50 states that made a compact to become a confederacy called the United States of America. Words, everything is precise. Precise. Like, just to give you an example, like everybody was required to wear a mask, or so they said you had to wear a mask, right? But they didn't tell you what type of mask. They just said mask. So you could have got you a Mickey Mouse mask or Goofy mask, any type of mask. You just put it on. You don't have to wear those other things. Just put something to cover your face and your mouth, your nose and your mouth. Yeah, DJ B Thunder said something valuable. Probably said one main thing I learned was to follow Akeem teachers and always ask for proof when people say things that sound too good to be true. Yes, sir. Ask for the proof, because that's where the truth. When you start asking for the proof, you're gonna stop taking your phone call, and someone will downright cuss you out for asking for proof. I was just in my membership the other day. I've stopped like showing my stuff on YouTube because they start doing stuff when I do that. So in my membership, I show people how stuff fell off by simply putting a freeze on my information that these places like LexisNexis and all this other stuff that keep information on you. Freezing that information. Because you have the authority to opt out of them sharing your information. They're profiting off of that. So you have the total control over that. So can a UCC save your house? Hell no. But I know who can save your house. Gilbert Rivera. I put him in the chat up there earlier today, earlier in the broadcast. It is. He can help you. Also, I can help you through techniques, but look, don't come to me after you got a sheriff's cell. If you got a sheriff's cell or anything like that, go talk to Gilbert because he can stop it even with the sheriff's cell. He has been able to stop it even after they sold the house. Yes. He's been able to reverse it. So go talk to me. If you're in the beginning stages and they're coming at you, first notices, that's the key to getting headway, getting progress, stopping them cold, is starting it off from the beginning. See, it's the beginning, how you start off, how you go at them. Trying to chase after, like I had one lady who she went to one of these people who were teaching about these bonds. She went to one of them teaching about these bonds, and she did it, and now she was forced. She's one of the few that I've seen. It's the only one I've ever seen where they actually sent her 3 notices stating that she paid off her loan. But then some years later, they came back after her and foreclosed on her property. Now, had she had come to me in the beginning when that all started, I could have put a stop to that because simply they provided the proof of payment that she paid them in their own words. They came years later with the lawyer with no real evidence, and they was able to foreclose her. Why were they able to foreclose on her? Simple, because she started using sovereign citizen arguments. I gave them a bond. I gave them this. They stayed on the stupid stuff that someone told them. Listen, one of the defenses to any debt collection is simple payment. So all she had to do was say, I made payment. She didn't have to say bond. The moment she said bond, sovereign citizen, and they started ignoring her. Now, she, of course, came to me in the final hour, so we trying to help her with a vacate void judgment. And she gets up there in the hearing and say bond. I said, look at that paperwork. Does it say bond anywhere? It just said you made the payment. And here's the exhibits that I made the payment from the company that claims I didn't make the payment 3 different times over 3 years. Said that the note was paid off. So the moment you said bond, they ignored all of that. Because you said something that is not within procedural or a cognizable statement. You made it something that they don't recognize as a way to settle the case. Use legal theory. Legal theory. Why would I say use bond? Okay, you did use a bond, but I would never use the bond as a form of what? Payment. So when you look up the rules of evidence and rules of defenses, it says, okay, how do you say, you say I made the payment and here's it. Boom. Never talk about where that came from, how it was made. You don't need to talk about that because the burden of proof is always on the plaintiff to prove his case. The burden of proof, it is not the defendant's burden to prove. His burden is to disprove. Hey, and how do you disprove? Okay, you say I owe some money, show me the proof that I owe. And the proof you show better be from someone who has firsthand knowledge that is a competent fact witness, not I read the records of the bank and this computer says this. And that's normally what they put in as an affidavit. The computer says such and such name paid such made these payments, and the default balance is this. That is them reading a screen. Anybody can do that. That is not certified evidence. That is not verifiable evidence. Verifiable evidence that says, hey, I was at the table when so and so did this transaction, and it was him who I witnessed do it. Just like in a murder case, they get what? Eyewitnesses. Oh, it was him. I saw him with the gun and shoot someone. I saw him. It was him. And see, they are always at a disadvantage with these when they come to these mortgages. Because they take them, they package them up, and they send them off. Third parties start handling them. And I read to y'all about the years ago about debt. And no one is, you cannot be the creditor if you receive such debt while it's in default. You are now a third party debt collector. So what is it? Because what happens when you go to foreclosure? They switch it over to the trustee all of a sudden. So they just received the debt, became the true party or so-called true party of the interest after the loan was in default. So now they are a third party debt collector. See why you need to attack that from the very beginning? Because they always start the case off with another name and then they switch it over to rename it. And you need to be hitting third-party debt collector letters to everybody. Everybody. The lawyer, the trustee who's supposed to be over this trust. They're third-party debt collectors. You didn't sign a contract with them. You didn't. So if y'all can understand these concepts, you got them by the balls. Y'all just don't know how to use your techniques to get them. To get them. What you're getting distracted by is fool's gold, UCC ones, discharge, equity. That equity is one of those things that always confused the hell out of me. Like, you go in there and you want to settle the case. To settle something means that you want to come to agreement, to something to agree on. Settle the matter. I've heard that so many times, and every time I talk to these people about proof, they never show nothing. 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 Let's see. Once again, just to make an announcement, New Orleans seminar. Let me see if I can get it back up here. What's my man? Oh. And New Orleans seminar, there it is on the screen. Saturday, April 23rd, 2022, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we're going to talk strictly about correcting that status properly, religiously, spiritually, passport, trust, religious exemptions, religious unincorporated association. Yes, we're going to be going over that too. How to set that up. Oh, getting your affairs in order. All right, what else we got? Disciple Ministry said, I stayed off my walk with the UC thing, and after reading and studying, I found out that it was just information that couldn't be put into the practical use. Right. It can't be. If it was so good, somebody would be able to come to you and say how much success here. All you're getting is people telling you to just do stuff without no real evidence of the stuff works. Like I took a notes of stuff I need to talk about. I don't have my notes in front of me. I'll talk about it on Tuesday. Hey, if you guys want to help out the show, it takes money to run this thing. All this stuff costs money. You can donate whatever you want to my Cash App. It runs across the screen. Or Zelle. There's my email. Every donation counts. Thank you, brother, who always hooks a brother up and makes some more indigenous Nolans. Looking forward to seeing you at the seminar. Oh, yeah. See King Bay say thank you for the show. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Somebody got perfected titles. What does that mean? Perfected titles. And that maybe that's another thing I know. You okay, you perfect the title. What has it done for you? I heard people see, y'all gotta understand. People keep giving y'all terms. Perfect this, perfect that. Okay, I perfected it. Now what? What is it gonna help me do? You gotta look at what you're doing accomplishing something. Are you getting what you want out of it? Yeah, thank you, sir. The disciple ministry said he'll be at the seminar. Looking forward to seeing you there too. Brother said, yeah, he did some paperwork and all he got was that 3811 green card. Yes, I got plenty of those. Listen, man, I got boxes of stuff. One day I'm going to get all my boxes of all the stuff I did, all the junk I was doing. And all it did was take a lot of my damn time. Take a lot of my damn time. That's all it did. Nothing. But you have to fail at something to learn from it. Now I'm one of the few people who are willing to speak up and say this stuff is stupid. That y'all getting yourselves involved. Losing your houses to people who don't even have a house to lose. Come on. I know someone right now. Their sale date is coming up the beginning of next month. And I told them almost 4 years ago that everything they were trying was not going to work. How do you know? Don't speak ill of my situation. Don't do this. Even put them on the Gilbert. They didn't follow that. They were one of the only one people that they had issues because they weren't being upfront and telling the truth. Now the house is up for the sale. What are they going to do now? They got a sale date. Now they had other sale dates and they kept being pushed off. And I hope for their sake that it gets pushed off again. But think about the stress that puts you through. Think about that stress that it puts you through, that your house is up for sale. You tried all these fancy techniques other than making the money to pay the damn thing. I woke up one day and I said, why don't I just make lots and lots of money and I just pay it and be done with it? Without all this fighting these people in the courtroom. Why? Because the courtroom that's an army you're fighting against. And you're just one person. And a lot of y'all are not courtroom ready. You're not trained lawyers. You see? Even me, I know a lot of stuff. I still don't want to be in them courtrooms. And I've been there. And lost one. I lost my first one. I said never happen again. And I studied for myself and I realized a lot of stuff that I was being taught was BS. It wasn't based in anything factual. It was based on them making up stories. And see, a lot of those made up stories are coming to bite a lot of these dudes in the behind now. They listen to those made up stories, and now you got a bunch of people who are facing foreclosure because they listen and they follow this thing, these advices. See, you are working against one of the biggest gangsters, and that is the government. They gangster, man. Like if you late on it, they could charge you $1,000 in penalties. They don't allow the businesses to do that. If you can't, somebody late on their bill, you can't charge them exorbitant fees. They say you're using the public. They get to do it. You see? You see what I'm saying? Let me get the
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing
right,
the
it's
nation.
Hindsight Radio. The information station changes. Hey, y'all need to go check out my other channel. It's called the American National TV. That's the channel that talks about my trucking journey, which is going okay. It's paying bills. Man, that trucking is a beast, but we're gonna get it. American National TV. Look it up. It's there. I got one follower over there. I'm hoping to get more. So, my sons and I, we're gonna record our journey with the truck and everything, where we started from. Right now, we're just doing mostly Amazon loads. That's paying the bills. Pretty soon, I'm gonna send them on the road. Let me see. Get the link for American National. TV. Hold on. Let's see. American TV. Of course, it's so ain't got me now. I put there it is. All right. I'll put it in the chat. Here it is. That's the link. No, I'm not a broker. Yeah, gas, man. Gas is killing it, man. I do have a load board. I use that load board. And of course, Amazon have their own load board. Yeah, I do have that. Now, before I go, I got to preach a little bit. I got to give y'all the word. And the word is just do it. What do I mean by just do it? If you have an idea, if you have some dream you want to fulfill, just do it. Don't be paralyzed by trying to get it perfect. Just do it. Don't be paralyzed by overthinking it. Just do it. Don't be paralyzed by your friends and your family putting doubt in your mind. Just do it. Don't try to get it perfect. Just make, if you want to make some content, you want to teach something, just do it. You will get better as you do it. Because the one thing that you have, the one power that you have is that mission that was given to you to deliver to the world. Everyone has something special to give. Everyone has some special message to deliver that can only connect to a certain group of people. Everybody has their audience to teach. Everyone. The difference is some people are afraid to let the message loose. They're afraid to let the cat out of the bag. They're afraid, thinking that their message, no one wants to listen to them or connect to them. They're afraid of not being liked. No, everyone has somebody special, something special to say, and there's someone special that will listen to what you have to say. There's someone out there that wants to buy your product, that want to do business with you. There's always someone for you. So it's March. We're in the middle of March now, halfway to April. 3 months down. 3 months down. 9 to go. And we'll be in another year. We can't, y'all gonna let this year go by and not go for your dreams, not go for that mission that you've been given? Even me, knowing what the mission is, I sometimes hesitate and I have to force myself to get on here and do these videos and talk to you guys. But guess what? Every time I do it, it pushes me that step closer to that dream I want to fulfill. So that means that I got to keep doing it over and over and maybe do it more. I keep telling you I'm going to do more and do more videos. Just do them. I need to follow my own advice just by just doing it. I was just talking to someone. They wanted, oh, what do I do? I got something to do. And then I'm listening to them tell me all these great ideas. I said, listen, you don't need a perfect camera. I use a $70 camera. I started out with a $600 camera. I use a $70 camera now to do these things because it doesn't take a $600 camera to get across a message. And that's all. Most people are not even looking at the screen. They're listening to you talk. So when I've discovered this $70 camera just as good as the other one, because what the key is that I had good audio and people could hear me clearly, and that I was getting my message across clearly. And like my message tonight, stop falling for these fool's goals. Stop listening to these idiots that keep putting y'all back in. You were doing, listen, a lot of y'all were doing okay before y'all started listening to these clowns tell y'all could discharge. Listen, I fell for the same mistakes. I did it too. I was a fool at one time. What's that song? Everybody plays a fool sometimes. Right? I played it myself. Yeah. But what I'm willing to do is admit that I played the fool. And you won't play me for a fool ever again. Because why? I'm going to study and read that stuff. Now back to what I was saying about the mission. You guys are gods. I won't say gods and goddess. You are gods. That means male and female, you are gods. All that goddess, that extra stuff, that's just so, it's all gods. Means men and women. All coming from the same place. You are gods. That means that you have godlike qualities. You have divine-like qualities. You have power. And because you have allowed this slave manufacturing system to dumb you down into believing that you don't have the power to make something great happen for yourself and your family, that you need them. They made you believe, they tricked you into believing that you needed a job to survive. You needed to go clock in, clock out, go to work at a certain time, leave at a certain time, take breaks at a certain time. See how they got you? They started you off like that with the school system. And from after the 12th grade, you go to college, do the same thing. And now for the rest of your life, you're clocking in and clocking out, taking breaks when they tell you to. Let me tell you something. It's time for you to take a break. It's time for you to take a break from those jobs. Am I telling you to quit? Hell yeah, I'm telling you to quit. Because you cannot serve two masters. You will hate one and love the other. Now you got to choose the one you're going to love. You're going to choose the slave master? You're going the job, the clocking in and clocking out? Or you're going to love the power inside of you to create your own business? Love that. Love the power that God gave you and put inside of you to make something big happen for you. It's that simple. But yet so hard. And the only reason why it's hard because it's programming. You were born to be powerful. You were born to be great, but programmed to fail. Right. You were programmed to fail. They programmed you to fail. And they used your very loved ones to do it. If you want to talk about a devil, that's the devil. But you can break loose of it. You can change it. You can just say, I'm not having it anymore. Akeem, you crazy. I can't just quit my job. I need to pay the bills. I got to do this. And see, that's the fix. That's the high. That's the drug. See, 99% of the people are junkies. They are system junkies. They are society junkies. They got to get their society fix. Oh, I got to get my fix. I got to go clock in there. Oh, I need this because I got to pay my bills. Oh, I'm going to be on the street. That's not the only way to make money. And that's the least successful way to make money. What I'm saying is going to sound absolutely absurd to the intellect, to the so-called intellectuals. But to the spiritual, it makes perfect sense. And that's who I'm talking to. This message ain't for everybody. If you too analytical, intellectual, you got a bunch of degrees, this may not work. This ain't gonna work for you. You ain't gonna never believe it because you believe that piece of paper is your savior. That's what's saving you. If I ain't got these degrees, I won't be able to make this much money because, this degree guarantees that I'm going to make this much money. Do you hear the absurdity in that? I have this degree. They tell you this in school. You get this degree and they show you how much you can make with this degree. Do you understand how absurd that sounds? So basically what they're saying is this. You get this degree. You get to make this much money. You get to make this little bit of money. You will never be wealthy. You will never have generational wealth with this degree. They're actually telling you that, but they're saying it, they spin it in such a way to make it sound good to you because you have been programmed for 12 years to be a slave. And I'm telling you, disconnect, unplug from that, and go do your thing. You guys are sitting on $1 million ideas right now. Some of those ideas is in your drawer, written in a book. Some of those ideas is in the garage, hidden under a bunch of junk. Some of those ideas you just decide, well, I'm too old. I got too many children. I can't. And you put them up in the attic. Some of those ideas are staring you in the face every day. And guess what? That one that's staring you in the face every day is that mirror you look at when you fix yourself up to go clock in at that job. The biggest idea is right there and staring you right in the face. You. So if you really want to make it happen to you, you're going to have to quit that job. You got to. That's what I did. I quit it. Making 6 figures a year. I walked away and haven't looked back. And I know some of y'all are not connecting to this on a spiritual level, but what I'm going to tell you tonight, when you lay your head down, you ask for the truth. Say, I just want this simple truth on how I'm going to make this happen if I quit my job. And I guarantee you, see, when you when you shut down one thing, you leave room for another thing. When you make a commitment to your own success, your own energy making money, the world opens up. Right now it's closed off because you love the other master more than you love being independent. being a God of your life. He has overshadowed that because in your mind, you feel you need it. It's required. And as long as you're thinking that that's the requirement for you to survive, that's all you will do is just survive. What's that how good times go? Scratching and surviving. Good times. That ain't no goddamn good times. Struggling is not a good time. And see, that's one of the other ways their programs, they got us watching shows like that. Every time they get close to surviving or making it good, something bad happens. And a lot of us, myself included, watch these shows and bought into these ideas is that we can only get but so far, and that's it. You can get it. You will go as far as your mind takes you. If you think big, you will go big. If you know big, you will have big. It's not about belief. It's about knowing. There's a lot of believers in the church right now, believing that this white guy coming back to fix their problems. He's going to destroy all the bad people and leave you alone, as long as you sit down there and get on your knees and pray to him and give tithes to the church. See, my ministry is not like their ministry. My ministry is saying, listen, get the hell up off your knees and stand up and take a step towards your own success and make it happen for yourself. You see? All right. So after this broadcast, go write your stuff down, what you wanted to make happen for yourself. It's not too late because you know the true New Year is coming up next week, as a matter of fact. That reminds me, I got to do a ritual. We have to do something. And this year has been off the chain. I got people coming to me and saying they did the money ritual for the New Year's. They're doing great. All of what they say has come true. I know it's happened for me, and I know it could happen for you, and it's happening for you. And that's great. And I just want more people to get that. Depend on yourself. Go for your own. Go for it. Let them think you crazy. Because being crazy and being radical is what it's going to take for you to get out of the programming. See, it always looks crazy and radical, and you too extreme to the people who want to be mainstream. The people that just want to assimilate and go along and get along. It always looks like that to them. And who cares about them? Let them stay there. Let them keep that life. Become free. So, with that being said, I wish everybody peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.